Hey guys, it's Chris here at Vintage Parlor Arts, and I thought I would give you guys a walkthrough of like my main living space here and just show you some of the decor I got going on because I really love looking at other people's decor, and I thought, why not just show mine and just throw my hat in the ring with everybody else because I love looking at everybody else's, and I thought it would just be something fun to do. So let's get started here. Um, this here is my main living area here, and a lot of my stuff comes from the thrift store. Um, that big metal dial up there, it used to be a clock, but I don't even know if it works anymore. I just took the battery out because I really didn't care if it worked or not. I just wanted the decor. So I took the battery out and just hung it up there. That old drugstore sign, I've had that for many years. I got it from a gentleman on Etsy. Um, and then that chest of drawers right there, that is an old family heirloom that's been handed down. I use it to store a bunch of craft supplies. I really don't watch television here in my main living space. I watch TV in my bedroom, so I just use the front room here for visiting. When family comes over, we sit and conversate here and everything. But I'll move closer here and show you guys what I got going on here. I wanted to show you here. Let me see if I can swing around here and turn the camera around and show you guys this rocking chair, because this was an amazing thrift store find I had picked up for, I want to say I got this rocking chair for 30 bucks maybe, or less. I know it was less than 30 bucks because I wouldn't have paid more than that for it. So I want to say it was either $20 or $30. I'm trying to remember exactly how much it was, but I want to say I paid 30 bucks for this, if memory serves me correctly. Because I bought it not too long ago, but it's really a really great find. So let me swing around here. Try not to give you vertigo here. Well, okay, let me start over here at this cabinet here. This cabinet is something I picked up on Etsy years ago from a woman who makes them, and I just use it for display. These bottles here, you'll see them, these apothecary bottles. I had ended up buying a huge box from a gentleman at a flea market one time for 20 bucks. He dug them up out of the ground, and they were covered in dirt and everything else, and I had to wash them off, and it was a big chore, but it was worth it because he was wanting to get rid of them, and they were an amazing find for 20 bucks. So I love flea markets and thrift stores, and these are some old patents up there. They're reproductions that I got off of Etsy. That's a scale up there, an old postage scale. So over here, this is some ephemera. It's an old prescription. Actually, I think this may be a reproduction. That I have a suspicion it might actually be a reproduction that someone had burned the edges on, had copied it maybe, like a reproduction of an original that someone had copied onto maybe coffee dyed paper or something, and then burnt the edges to make it look aged. I'm thinking it's a reproduction of an original piece of ephemera. That is a doily that I had framed. This is just some decor. This is so funny how I got this right here. I am such a thrifter, I tell you. I did not get this vase at a thrift store. What happened was Big Lots was going out of business. They went bankrupt, I guess, but then reopened here recently, and they were still selling off some of their stuff. And you would go in there and you could pick up stuff for like $1.25. I mean, it was outrageous. So I picked up that vase for like $1 or $2. They had candles for like 25 cents because they were still trying to get rid of all their old stuff. It was just unreal, I'm telling you. They were giving it away. There's some, entomology back there, diagrams, and there's a moth up there. Taxidermy of a big, huge moth. I love taxidermy. Candlesticks, mirrors. I love old photographs. Okay, let's go over here to this other cabinet. This cabinet, I just picked this up at the thrift store. It cost me really more than I wanted to pay, but it was worth it. It was like 15 bucks. That's usually more than I pay for something at the thrift. But one reason I got it is because it matched the other cabinet over there. I mean, almost to a T. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was such good quality. I mean, it was like early American / primitive, you know, and it was so heavy and so good and so well made. I was like, I can't pass it up, even though it's kind of expensive for the thrift. I mean, it was not expensive for the piece. Do you know what I mean? The piece was well worth it, is what I'm saying. It was worth it. I mean, this would have cost me a fortune had I bought it from like an original seller at its original price. I mean, it was so worth it. But when you find something in the thrift, you know, you're looking for bottom dollar kind of thing, you know. But anyway, it's just usually I don't have to pay that much. But anyway, here's just some medicine. I collect like medicine. I'm sorry, my brain is just gone here from this cold just kicking my butt. But medicine tins. I collect oddities and things like that, and medicine tins and different things. Here's more of those bottles that I had picked up. There's an old straight razor right there. More of those apothecary bottles, photographs. There's some old dental resin teeth. I love that candlestick right there. I have a thing for candlesticks. I don't know. I'm telling you, I was not born. I'm an old soul. I think I'm reincarnated from like 100, 200 years ago. Anyway, I am so reincarnated. This is not my first go around, I swear. Anyway, over here, this is, that sign is, it's not an old sign. It's just something that I picked up from Amazon or somewhere. I don't know where I got that from. Who knows? Now, I don't know where I got the picture frame from. I can't remember. I'm just going to be honest with you. I may have got it from a flea market or a thrift store somewhere. Probably. And then inside here, okay, now the stuff inside the frame has a really unique story. And I'll tell you guys if you're interested in knowing. This insurance policy right here, okay, comes from a big book of insurance policies that I have that I was able to get my hands on. I actually bought it off of, I want to say off of Etsy. Because back in the day, you know, when they wrote insurance policies, they didn't have Xerox machines, right? So they had to have blanks. So it's a big book of blanks from like, I don't know, 100 years ago or something. And so that's what that is. And I just stuck some photographs up there just to give it some interest. And then now this right here, this reference table comes from a book that I bought off of Etsy. It's over 100 years old too. It comes from an atlas. an old atlas. It's really cool. And then here is just some ledger paper. And these are just some old architectural pieces. I got those at just some box store. I don't know if it was like Pottery Barn or whatever, someplace like that. You know. Now let me see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. Okay, so turn it around here. This is like a gallery wall of mine. It's just, and then this is an altar that I have set up to the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And I'll show you guys that closer in just a second. But this is kind of like, reminds me of like early American, and I love nature. So I have more butterflies here. These are real butterflies that are taxidermied, if you will. And then there's a tapestry here, and then a picture of some birds. And then these are some florals. Both of these, I believe, I picked up at the thrift. I'm pretty sure. Somewhere along the way. Now down here, this is just like an altar space, and I keep holy water in there. And then there's some like little it's just little offerings. It's just some hyssop and some holy oil and some frankincense and some salt that's been blessed by a priest, you know. I have some stones in there, just moonstone and different things like that. Just some things from nature, just some feathers and some rocks and a cross and just some roses. I have to be careful what plants I put out because I have a cat, so I have to make sure things are not toxic. So any plants I put out, I make sure that I have to look them up and make sure that they're not toxic to a cat. I believe this is guava leaf here. I had to make sure it wasn't toxic for my cat. And here I usually burn herbs and things, sage or whatever, and you know, make sure my cat doesn't get into it here. You know, these are just some of my spiritual items here, and candles. There's one to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and then Joseph, and then Mary. And then these are just little folk items, angel, some wings. There's Mother Teresa back there, picture of her, and Sacred Heart of Jesus here, and you know, whatnot. And here's just more little offerings. These are just little jar of frankincense. Just little things I like to do, little thing of holy water, just to make a sacred space for myself in my home here. Helps me to get in, you know, to be able to meditate and to pray. And I like to light this, and you know, I feel like we all should have some space where we can kind of center ourselves and, you know, get grounded and just, you know, be at peace. So this is the main living area. I can take you over here and show you a few things. This little sign says simplify. And I just have some little spools here that I put on some twine. There's a little angel there. Another little spool. It says simplify. There's like an early American sign. Oh, I think I forgot to show you guys my doll cradles and stuff. Let me go back here. Watch your vertigo, people, if you got vertigo. I was going to show you the dolls. So here are the primitives, okay? So there's an American, kind of Americana doll right here. There's the doll you guys may have seen earlier, Sad Sally, from a previous video. There's Uncle Sam. I made him. And here's another doll. I had purchased this doll one year for myself for a birthday present. And then there in a little baby cradle, I got this little cradle for like $6 at the thrift. And then over here, there's another little, this is actually, this cradle, I want to say is like 100 years old or something. I had seen the age on the back of it, but it was handmade, you could tell. It's got like, it doesn't have any nails. It's got like just little wood pegs. I don't know if it was made by an Amish person or what. I don't know. But anyway, it's really cool. I picked it up for the thrift store. They like $6. They like give this stuff away. It's just amazing. And anybody who loves antiques, man, it's like, I just go in there and I find this stuff. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But here's some dolls. You guys have seen Gertrude. And there's a little Mabel right there. I call her Mabel. Some of the dolls. I don't name all my dolls. Most of them I don't name, but every now and then I name a few of them. Especially the ones I make, I usually name them. Here's just a little coffee table area. Some herbs. I like to put herbs out. Especially for offerings, you know, for spirits, whether it's the ancestors or if I'm making a spirit offering to Jesus or whoever. Let's see, got some roses there. What was I going to show you here? I'm sorry, I'm saying okay. These are just some hangers here. I've had these for many years, but they were, got these from a flea market. Those were really cool. This high chair right here, I got that from a thrift store. Same thrift store I always go to. And I only paid, I'm telling you, I want to say, don't laugh, $6. But everything, they seem like they want to put $6 on everything. $5.99 over there. I think they're ripping themselves off, if you ask me. But because it's worth so much more than that, and I feel guilty sometimes. Only giving them $5.99, but that's what they have it marked. But it's just amazing, right? All of this came from my local thrift. Just beautiful stuff. Just beautiful. I live in Ohio right now, so we have a really great Goodwill up here. You know, we're not too far from Amish country, so, you know, I don't know if some of the stuff comes from Amish country, or maybe people pass away and then their loved ones clean out their home and that's how we get stuff. I don't know, but we're lucky to be able to have such beautiful findings up here, you know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour of my little living space here. And if you did, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will hopefully be able to bring you more in the future. Oh, I did forget this one thing here. Well, I forgot a couple things here. There's a map here that it has a skull on it here. The map came from the atlas I was telling you about earlier. And the window, I have some shutters on either side here. I've had these shutters for ages. I mean, probably 20 years I've had these shutters. I forgot. I didn't show you every little thing in my space here, but you know how you do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been really fun for me, and we'll try to do this again, and I'll try to bring you some other areas. Maybe we'll do the craft room next. I'll tidy that up and we'll see what we can find over there. All right, guys, take care. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.